Yeah, let's kick off the session. Bhanu, are you okay? Good to go?
Yes, fine, Lakshmi, we can go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, everyone who is trying to join from the other places of Melbourne. We are Salesforce Marketing Cloud Trailblazers Developers Group, and we conduct these sessions to share the experts from Marketing Cloud or any marketing platform to let the Trailblazers know it's not so tough to enter the ecosystem. And here we have Bhanu today from Germany. It's his 7:35 a.m. and he started doing or digging into more these sessions from 5:30. I just had a call. So just to give a small introduction about Bhanu, he started his career as a Java developer in 2008, and then he transformed to a marketing cloud person from 2014, right, Bhanu?
Yeah, like I was into Salesforce CRM till 2016. From
Yeah.
2016, I
Yeah.
moved to
So
Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Yes.
yeah, so he will be giving us more intro or detailed parts of his experience, but the session is going to be interested because I know what the content he's going to speak. He's trying to let the trailblazers know how he dealt with a complex marketing cloud project. We have our other leaders, Himanshu, Key, and Oana. We are missing Matt today. He's caught up with some other thing. But everybody is welcome to ask the questions via chat during the session or after the session. You can just unmute yourself and talk. But please just don't talk while the session goes on. Thank you. And the stage is yours, Banu. Let me know when you want me to, slide to the next one
Yeah,
so that I can help you with that.
sure, Lakshmi.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Lakshmi, for giving me this opportunity. And first of all, I'm happy to meet the great leaders. I have seen you guys most of the time everywhere in LinkedIn and the post. It's really a great honor for me to be in front of you guys and share knowledge about it. So yes, as Lakshmi said, I started my career in 2008. I started as a Java developer in 2010. I started working in Salesforce CRM. So like almost like 6 years, I worked in India in Salesforce CRM platform. In 2016, I moved to Germany. So I started working here with multiple companies. So then, since then, I started to work on Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So when I started working on Salesforce Marketing Cloud, there was nothing like completely. It was no materials. Only there were few leaders who were speaking about it. It was very difficult to find the developers, and it was very difficult to buy the license, sit in front of business, and trying to find the developers and start working on it. Because Marketing Cloud is not only a technology, but it's a phase of a company or a phase of an organization where we have to showcase our product to the customer. So it is almost a what do you call it's edge of a knife where we have to really be very careful about. So that's where I started. And yeah, when I started Marketing Cloud Technology, it was completely dark area where we had to learn everything, we have to understand everything, take a lot of help from Salesforce, and we have to work on it. So that's where I started. So here, the main purpose why I am here is not to completely share the knowledge, because these groups, like I have seen few years back, these groups had a lot of preference and a lot of value, or because this is the only source of information, and this was the only place where we can meet leaders and exchange information. Could be anything from small information to large information. But nowadays, there are a lot of AI resources, and there are a lot of sources, a lot of videos everywhere. So the knowledge is everywhere, the technical knowledge is everywhere. So that's the reason we are not having too much of gathering everywhere, and not many people are interested in having such a kind of meetups these days. Even after pandemic, I don't see too many people having meetup sessions when I go to Munich meetup or somewhere else. Not only in terms of Salesforce Marketing Cloud, in other areas also, because we are getting knowledge everywhere. So just because that one where everybody feels themselves that they are knowledgeable, they are not towards this, which is nowadays showing the impression that Salesforce Marketing Cloud is dead. Recently, I have seen Matt commenting on that one, like Salesforce Marketing Cloud is dead. Is it really true? So this is the point which I really like to speak about. See, I have done more than 20 implementations across Europe and globally. I worked with multiple companies and I have seen how Salesforce Marketing Cloud is being implemented in each and every company. And I have seen the org, I have seen the business, how the technology is being used. But what I'm lacking is there are certain areas where we really lack certain things. People, we know how to use the technology or how to understand the things, but people doesn't know like what to ask is something which is really lacking. I would really like to say Salesforce Marketing Cloud is not dead, but it is not used in a right way. Slowly, Salesforce Marketing Cloud is considered to be as a tool. I would really like to say Salesforce Marketing Cloud is not a tool, but it's a platform. Tool is always something what it is used for an intended purpose, I would say. But a platform is something where we can leverage it and use it according to our needs. So this is something which I would really like to say, and also would like to share few of my experiences in different companies where we are lacking and how things work. So I would really like to take an example, explain about the example, and also would like to say like how things are changing and how it needs to be. Lakshmi, can you go to the next slide? So this is something I would really like to speak about the technology with examples about the car rental company which I worked some years ago when Marketing Cloud was completely new to the platform or to the technology. So there, when I started my career, when I had to deal with this company, there were like 10 million customers. So my management have given me a 10 million customers, and they asked me like, hey, we have given a Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and it have we bought some two business units. This is what we could afford because the past licenses or the past Marketing Cloud tools was something which is of the same price. Like, how do you do this? So when they have given me, it was not an easy task for us to inject 10 million customers into Salesforce Marketing Cloud from different countries and different currencies, different date formats, and we never know how to build the database, and we never know how to do the personalization. So a lot of research have been done, and we took a lot of help from Salesforce, and we have to implement this one. So using these things, I would really like to reflect certain experiences where certain things are not properly being done, which is resulting to a place where Salesforce Marketing Cloud is not being used properly, I would say. Because the thing is, most of the resources are learning Marketing Cloud from the professional trainers whose daily job is just training. So if you go to them, you just understand what is data extension, what is automation, what is a journey builder. That's it. But behind the scenes, there are a lot of things where you can gel up the technology with the business. So that is where anybody who are learning the technology, they are lacking. They are thinking that Marketing Cloud is a easy job where they can just come, load the data, build the email template, our job is done. Ideally, that is not the way how we have to. So it's highly important for us to showcase what business needs and what all we could do on top of it, and how well we could utilize the tool, so that we don't end up using the tool in such a way that, or maybe the platform in such a way that, hey, we don't want this anymore, let's go for another less priced editions. I have worked on different Marketing Cloud technologies. I have did a lot of researches, and I left Salesforce Marketing Cloud some time ago, some years ago. I went to other tools, I got certified, I understood how the things are, and after looking at all these things, again I have to come back to Salesforce platform, and I have seen a lot of new innovations which is coming up. Maybe it could be a growth or advanced. I have seen like how growth is working, how advanced is working, but again it really takes more time for advanced or something else to replace the current Marketing Cloud technology or exact target what we have. So this is what something which I would really like to tell. And maybe I will share few examples because I cannot say everything in our small session. I will really showcase people, or maybe the people who see this later, that hey, we still have a scope, and these are the things which we are not doing it. If we could do it, definitely we can sustain with this tool for another 5 years or 10 years, until unless something advanced things comes up. So this is why, this is my major intention. You can, whenever you have any questions or something, you can always stop by. Maybe you can, Lakshmi can go to the next slide. So first of all, if you see here, not many people are using data extensions as a there's an option called retention, which not many people are using. Like when I said, when I work for more than 20 plus companies, whenever I log in, I see that there are hundreds of data extensions which are not properly used and not properly organized, which is really frustrating for any new people. Or nowadays, I see even business people are trying to log in and they are seeing like what's going on in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. In the past, it was not there. Only the person who are really working on that, they used to. But nowadays, everybody wants to see. Even I have heard sometimes like one of the company CEO wants to see what's going on Salesforce Marketing Cloud, because whenever he wants to sign the every year when he have to renew the licenses, he really wants to ask the access for this, and he also logs in. So it's all important to have. There is a Marketing Cloud already gave this feature called as retention, where you don't have to when you create a data extension, there is one more option called as retention, where if you are using the data temporarily, enable that, let the data clean up, don't save the data, because it's burden for Marketing Cloud some way or the other. I really want people to say that don't complain about the slowness of the tool. Large animals, really heavy animals, really take time to wake up and run, but once they run, you can't stop them. So Marketing Cloud, it's huge, it has a lot of things running behind that, so that's the reason it is a bit slow. So why do we need to load this unwanted data, and why do we have to keep this unwanted data? We have to respect our privacy, data privacy rules, regulations, all these things. Let's start using this one. If you're not using it on, maybe it could be on data, or maybe it could be on terms of data extension. After 30 days or something, you delete it. It would really lowers the stress on the system. And another thing is, one more problem what I have seen is users. Like when you log in, when a person joins a company, when we give a we do hire a lot of contractors in our company, or maybe freelancers who work temporarily for us. After some days, they go away. Once they go away, what we do is we just deactivate the user and we leave them like that. Like if sometimes if you log in into a company, there are like 250 if there are like 250 to 300 users, in that there are only 50 active users. So here my question is like, why do we need to have such kind of inactive users? Of course, we cannot delete those users or something. Like, why do we need to? Because even the only person who leave the company, HR is the person who saves their information. Not many people saves their information. So in terms of in Marketing Cloud, why do we have to? Let's reuse this. And one more thing is why I have to add this user security here is like today morning when I just saw in LinkedIn, one of the Salesforce architect, he said that, he posted like, hey, breaking news, Salesforce Marketing Cloud access is being misutilized. And below that one, don't give admission permission for everybody, including the person who's working in the company, or including to their dogs also. So something he has given a frame. See, if you go into Salesforce CRM, the permissions works differently, where you always you always have a capacity, or you always have a feature where you can give additional access whenever you need. But Salesforce Marketing Cloud is a technology where you can restrict it. Even if you give admin access to someone else, there is an option called as deny, so where we have to use it, because not everybody needs all the accesses wherever it is, because this leads to multiple complications. As I said, not every person who logs in into Marketing Cloud are experts, so these are something which we have been lacking, and let's start using this also as a feature. And let me yeah, next is shared or a dedicated IP. Recently I was working with one person, so he told me that, hey, we stopped using Salesforce Marketing Cloud and we are going to a different platform. I asked him why. Then he said, no, our customers are increasing, we are increasing our customer base, we are merging in multiple countries, so that's the reason we are moving it to. And why don't you do it Salesforce Marketing Cloud? He said, that is it possible? I heard that we can send only 10,000 emails. Yes, of course. If you use a shared IP, you can send up to 10,000 per day. But there is also something called as a dedicated IP. It's a powerful one. It has the capacity to send up to 250,000 emails per day. Have you heard of it? Then he said, no. Where is it? Do we need to pay extra for that? Of course, you don't have to pay extra for that. It's already there. So when we are doing it, we just have to do some IP warm up and we can use that. There are certain things not many people are aware of such things. The people who are sitting in the business, they are busy understanding the business, are developing the product. So it's our responsibility to tell to them that the features. So I would really like to say to the people or the people who are learning the technology that learn the limits. And there are two things which Salesforce Marketing Cloud can spread their wings in terms of engagement, in terms of other things. So this is something which I would like to tell. And we can go to the next slide, please. Next slide, Lakshmi. Okay, you're on mute. Yeah. Um, and coming to this one, and also there is always, like, when you have to set up a data extensions, again, like, one more problem what recently I came across was, when I tried to speak about Salesforce Marketing Cloud implementation, they told us that, hey, we need a platform where we can store the data, or maybe we wanted to organize the data, or maybe we wanted to do some deduplications or something. We are looking for some tool in a cheaper way. I asked them why. Then, like, even I had this similar experience when I was working for Six Rent a Car. Like I told, when I was working for a rental company. So they told me that, if you really wanted to use that, I mean, like, the opportunity what was given to me was just two business units where I really have to inject data for almost from 105 countries, different data with different currencies. When I have to bring in such a kind of data, even I had a thought of having a different database where a lot of deduplication or a cleansing of a data was mandatory for me. So that was very important, because I cannot always go to the person who's giving me the data, can tell me that, hey, my Marketing Cloud accepts the data only in this format for this particular data extension, for this particular data load, or for this particular automation. I cannot tell to him that, hey, I really need a data in this format, or maybe the currency or something kind of. It was very difficult for me to communicate across all the countries. So that's the reason, in order to stop my automations fail, I was categorized my data extensions into two categories. One is hot and cold. What this hot data extension is, like, I kept all the text fields, like, however the data comes in, your automations will not fail, because for me every customer is very important. You never know how much revenue a customer generates, because for a company every customer is important. So what I did is, in order to not to lose the data, or not to lose any customer information, or I don't want it to fail any automation. So failing of one automation results into failure of multiple things in the company, or maybe campaigns or something. So that's the reason I used to set up a strategy called as hot data extensions, which is hot all the time, where the data, whatever the data comes in, it comes and gets stored in the form of text, so that there is no failures. So once that data comes into my system, so then I use automations, and I use a lot of casting methodologies to make it into a right format. Because once the data is inside my Marketing Cloud, so then I can use, like, however I wanted to, and so that, I can do a lot of cleansings, or maybe a lot of changes, or put it into right format, where we could use it in terms of our campaigning purposes. So there are different ways I could do. So here, what I mean to say is, we don't need additional tools, because all other marketing technologies which I worked on, they need a different platform, maybe a customer data platform or data management platform, where they have to invest more. But Marketing Cloud is a platform where it can accommodate a huge volume of data. You can take the data what you wanted to, rest of the data you can give it to retention, or maybe if you don't want it, you can just make it as an auto delete kind of options. So here I would like to say that we can save money, rather, depending on other platforms. Because if you see other platforms, let's say Marketing Cloud or Advanced, even though it's a powerful tool, the Data Cloud is a companion or a platform for that, where the data is provided. But Marketing Cloud, even without Data Cloud, you can see a lot of powerful magics have been done by this tool. So this is what I would like to say. Like, I would like to say that we can use this as a data management platform as well, which Marketing Cloud has a capacity, where other platforms which I haven't seen that they have this kind of a capacity. And can you change it? Yeah. And data from data views. So this is important, I would say, for analytics purpose. When I was analytics is again a powerful tool. When you say marketing, there are always two, three things: the data, the campaigns, and analytics. Analytics plays a powerful role for any company, like how our campaigns are behaving. So from past 5 years, how things are behaving. So this is where we can show ourselves to our business management, like how our campaigns are performing, no matter what campaigns you're running, but altogether you need to see how the performance of our campaigns. So if you leave this data, it would go away, because Salesforce doesn't give a warranty of more than 6 months where they can save this data. I always tell my architectures when they build the architecture, of course Salesforce architectures are knowledgeable, but the persons who are coming newly into the environment, don't lose this data views, because this data is very important. Either you save it in Marketing Cloud, or maybe use other platforms if it is a huge volume where you can store there, and maybe you can utilize it for showing the performances. So this is really important, because this was the complaint what I got it from some companies. They say that, hey, it doesn't store the performance of the campaigns for a longer time, but our tool has it. So that's what they said. See, even Salesforce Marketing Cloud also can do that if you really have the mentality, or if you have a knowledge of using that one. Yeah. And next is, there is something which I would really like to tell is, use one-stop change area or low-code strategy. This is really important for architects or the people who are working there, because whenever you implement Salesforce Marketing Cloud, not everybody knows Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and not everybody know the coding. When I was working in Europe, not everybody are developers, because, and most importantly, you cannot hire Marketing Cloud expert for all the jobs. Like, we cannot make Marketing Cloud expert to sit with the business, Marketing Cloud expert to run the campaigns, Marketing Cloud expert to add the content. So if you're one person, if you're really smart enough to build architecture in such a way in the sense, like, in terms of technology, I build a template, I build the email template in such a way that I keep only the CSS code, the HTML code, and AMP script, nothing else. I don't really want the content, could be any kind of a content. I don't really want it to have a long image URLs inside the content blocks. So that is really not a good practice. I always wants to keep everything in the data extension in a proper documented way. Let's have such kind of strategy where content blocks are just a content blocks, templates are just the templates. Let's keep everything outside and document it properly and hand it over to our content team. Whenever I go there, I do that, so that my content team, they don't really have to edit my email templates all the time. Because when my developers, or maybe my content team who are not developers, if they see 2000 lines of email code, or like maybe 500 lines of email code, they think that this tool is highly complex. We wanted to have a tool where drag and drop is necessary, because other tools are giving that feature where drag and drop are available. Of course, in Salesforce Marketing Cloud also you can use drag and drop, but if you really wanted to change the content, you build an architecture in such a way that give them the data extensions, give them a proper instructions how to make the change, make it documented properly, and if you hand over that, it will definitely reduce burden on us. Because when you are busy discussing about bringing in WhatsApp or any other complex AI kind of features into Marketing Cloud, your company should not come and ask me, hey, could you please change this minor change in the content block, or maybe can you please change this sentence here. So this is not something which you always have to come back, you update a user story, make a small change in this content, again do the retest. All these things are painful. You can change all these things. Instead, put everything in data extension, give them the data extension, let them make the changes in the data extension, and let them see the preview. So I would always ask people to make it as low code as possible, make it more customized, give more feasibility for our content team to change the content in the data extension rather than editing our content blocks. So this is something which I would like to say it here. And next is monitoring tools. So there are monitoring tools which even I built. Even if you Google it, there are a lot of monitoring tools which are available, which is like a automation monitoring tool or journey monitoring tool. Like as I said, Not everybody who works on the platform are highly experienced, because I have seen that there are many cases where business was highly impacted for a small change. If you really wanted to make a small change in SQL query, the person goes there, he make a small change, and again he forgets to start the automation, because once you edit the automation or something, it gets paused. And again, if you forget to restart it, it impacts. It may be the impact would be small or large. There's nothing to come to you and say that, hey, something has happened. So when and also similarly, a similar case with journey also, like let's say if you really wanted to change some email or something in a journey, so what people do is they stop the journey. Of course, now the pause option is there, but when I started this, there was no pause option in the past. People, they come, they just stop the automation, stop the journey, they edit the email templates, and they just move away, which nowhere it has been tracked, and people complain saying that, hey, Marketing Cloud doesn't have this feature. Of course, you don't have to, but there are certain easy tools like automation monitoring tool, which is very easy. You can do some activities in SSJs, which is already there, and also similarly with journeys also, like a journey monitoring tool. So what I have done is we build these tools which runs every day, which checks that before day, like it takes all the data on a previous day. If all these automations are active, it pulls all the automations and stores at one place, and the next day it runs again and it compares the automations which was active by today with the previous day. And if it sees that if there are any discrepancy, immediately it sends an email to a particular team or a particular team lead saying that, hey, a particular automation which was active yesterday is paused. Is it something which you need to take action on it? So immediately, or maybe the journey which was active yesterday and which was stopped today. So if it is really serious one, he will take an action, or else he will ignore. When I showed to one of the company, they really wanted to have it in a better way. Like what I did is, so instead of sending an email to the team, we have an automated email which we send it to Atlassian, where Atlassian creates a Jira ticket and it assigns to automatically to a group. So daily when the sprints planning sessions, when they are checking a lot of groups, they also have a group called a logs group. If there are any tickets in that, like saying that automation is stopped or a journey is stopped, or maybe certain things happened, they can just go into the ticket, or if they don't want to, they just close it, or maybe if they want to take an action, they used to do. Of course, Marketing Cloud also shows the errors as a notification, but when you have this stopped automation and all these things, we don't have this notification, but still we could also use this feature. And next one, actually. Yeah, next, one more problem. This cloud pages. This is also a complaint with a lot of people say to us, because especially in this cloud pages, in most of the companies, the web developers work on this cloud pages. So when of course, our Marketing Cloud people also works when it in terms of SSJs or AMP But if it's really very complex pages, which there is a lot of JavaScript involved or something involved, I have seen most of the times the web developers works on that. These web developers, they don't get a flexibility of utilizing, making the changes to the cloud pages. Let's say a requirement comes like, hey, could you please change this first name and last name into maybe a complete full name kind of. If you say to that, the web developer immediately he does it, and when he turns back and sees, the change will not reflect immediately in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, because once you publish the cloud page, it will really take some time, maybe some 5 minutes or 10 minutes, sometimes 1 or 2 hours, also depends on the code. So cloud pages doesn't work like a normal local host websites, where immediately once a change is done, immediately the change is reflected. People say that, hey, it's very difficult. Web developers always complain saying that, hey, it's not so easy to have this cloud pages working, or maybe there is no version control for this cloud pages if someone deletes it, because now we have a recycle bin and all this stuff. But in the past, if the cloud page is live, or maybe if you use this cloud pages iframe in a very big website, if some developer deletes the cloud page, your cloud page is gone, which people always used to complain. They say they consider this as a drawback. Say ideally this is not a drawback, I would say. Marketing Cloud provides a feature to host a page. If you really wanted to host your web page, you need to spend a lot of money on AWS or Heroku or somewhere. But here in Marketing Cloud, of course, you could host it. So this is, I would say, it's advantageous thing. But if you wanted to use it in a smarter way, put it in a GitHub or somewhere. You can just put all your code in a GitHub where version control is already there, and you give that GitHub repository and endpoint URL to the developers where they can do a lot of changes. And instead of um, saving the cloud page data in the cloud page, I would say you just have to put a piece of code which is already there. I can share the link later. I mean, like a lot of our developers have done that. You just have to save a piece of code in the cloud page. You get the data from the Git repository and you show it to the developers or show it to the interface. You can also pass the parameters and you can do multiple operations. I would really say that this is not a drawback. I would say it is really a powerful feature which we could use rather than worrying about the deletion of a cloud page or of the lazy loading of the cloud page. And next is the super messages, consumptions, and context. So this is the complaint what business people say to us, like, hey, last time we bought 10 million contacts or 1 million contacts. Now our account executive is calling us and saying that, where are the cloud pages? I mean, like, where are the contacts? So like we have to, they're asking for contract renewal or more money kind of a thing. And mostly again, the super messages. So this is also important when you learn Marketing Cloud. The people who are learning Marketing Cloud, it's important to see like how our resources are being utilized. In Marketing Cloud, everything is being counted. Not only in Marketing Cloud, I have seen in even other platforms also. Everywhere we have to use these things smartly. If you don't use these things smartly, you have to obviously have to pay for that. Especially you need to keep an eye on the super messages consumptions. You don't have to send a super high priority email for a promotional or some promotional activity. You don't have to. So being you a Marketing Cloud expert, you need to know all those things where your super messages have been consumed. Super messages are consumed everywhere. Whatever you send them maybe a push notification or a cloud page, and you have to see like where these super messages have been utilized and how these super messages are calculated and how much money are we paying for this one. Whenever I train people or whenever I ask my Marketing Cloud experts to the industry, I always ask them like, before you log in or before you start working or after you start working, always speak to your account executive, have a contact with them and see how many contacts are being utilized in the back end. Do you really need to adopt some contact deletion process? There is some contact deletion process automations which Salesforce have already given to us. All the junk contacts what we are using, what we are bringing in, so you have to keep an eye. There is no point of bringing all the CRM contacts into Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Have an eye on it so that we can save money. Marketing Cloud is not so expensive if you use it smartly in terms of super messages or maybe in terms of contacts or in terms of anything else. So even I would really like to say that even the cost is not a matter if you really wanted to use it in a proper way. And next is custom content blocks and custom activities. I would say that one more thing is like I have seen like people who are highly experienced in Journey Builder. People are using Journey Builder from 6 years or 7 years. They kept on using the same activities which they are not even aware of. There are something called as custom activities which we could be capable of building it. We are buying it. There are a lot of external vendors who are putting these custom activities in App Exchange that they are making money out of it, these custom activities. But these custom activities is something if you have a web developer or maybe if you have a person who's Node.js developers or maybe if you have a vendor, you can buy these things. Journeys are not something what we have to use all, whatever you're using, the engagement split or addition split or any activities, update activities, all this. Journey Builder is not restricted environment. They already open. See, these features, they came like 5 years before or maybe 6 years before. Marketing Cloud already open windows for all these additional development features. You can always build your own activities. You can train your journeys the way your business wanted to be. Like let's say one example came to me. Hey, hey Vanu, whenever my journey starts, whenever if it is going in between, I really wanted to do some web operations. Do your journey have a capacity to do that? Journey doesn't have. Is it so? Yes, of course. Journey, people believe that it doesn't, so because looking at the activities what it is there. But ideally Journey can do a lot of other activities in the backend. Like if you have those activities, it's very easy. Like you can just build one app or build whatever it is, you host it on Heroku, and you can bring it into journey builder, and you can use how many custom activities you need and how many operations you wanted to do it. You can do it by using the best practices. That is also possible using custom activities, and also the custom content blocks. Not many companies use custom content blocks. Using this custom content blocks, you can do a lot of magic sort of it. Let me tell you one use case when I was working with a rental company. So this one is like, let's say there is a Christmas Eve. So what we our company used to do is they used to send vouchers. So when they send vouchers, the voucher is very big, the promotion is very big, 50% discount on a car what you take, 50% 20% discount, which is really very nice for a customer. On top of it, this voucher, so there is a small agreement, terms and conditions tick mark, which, I mean, a star mark which is given there. So people don't see that star mark until unless they don't come down, I mean, like, they don't really wanted to come down and see the terms and conditions. Exactly after 5 days, 5 to 10 days, immediately when the new year comes in, everybody goes to office there. Whenever when they sit in their office, all my sales reps, when they sit there, immediately people start calling and say that, hey, you sent me a 20% discount voucher, and voucher is not working anymore. Because definitely it is not a new year for my customers, because if you say 10 million emails I have sent and a lot of vouchers I have sent, and in that 1 million customers complaining about the vouchers, saying them that, my vouchers are not working, then immediately these people, they are assigning the cases to the sales team. When they check the voucher is already expired. Yeah, and again, like, they have to bring it back, and again they have to say to the customer. So this is a lot of stress for the business, lot of stress to the systems. And in terms of business also, a person who's standing in the airport, who really want to having a tough journey, he really he opens his app, he sees that voucher code is not working, is pissed off. Immediately next time when he comes, he will not use the voucher code, rather he will go to a different rental company. He takes a car and he will just fly off. The company was not even have a technology to the rental company. They are the winner of the customer. So there are problems like this. So what we have to do is we use this custom activity feature. It's a very small activity feature which is very easy to implement. So what this one will do is, as soon as we send out a voucher code, there's a timer which is set below it. So this timer runs on a different system, which is hosted on a different system. So the person, before Christmas, he gets an email that, hey, this is the voucher. And as soon as he sees the voucher, immediately there is a timer which is below that, which is a runtime. So after Christmas, when he sees that, okay, 7 days, okay, within 7 days I need to use it. And maybe another time when he opens the email, that is 4 days, and immediately it says that, the automatically the timer turns into red, and it says that you have only 1 day to redeem this voucher. So immediately, somewhere or the other, we are putting a little bit of curiosity and anxiety on the person to buy that or maybe use that voucher. And immediately when the voucher gets expired, there's a comment on that, unfortunately we missed you, but if you really wanted to have one more voucher, we put some retention email or another kind of voucher over there, or maybe reduce the voucher, like 20% discount turned into 10% discount kind of, which really reduces a lot of stress on the company or technology. And also, a small activity on a Salesforce Marketing Cloud can really create a big impact on a business. So there are certain things which nobody gives it. If you really wanted to use such kind of activities in any other technologies, you need to pay a lot of money out of it. But here we are getting it freely, which we could use that. So we are not using such kind of things. I would really like to say that yes, of course, we can use such things as well. And yes, again, AI related APIs. I have seen, like, recently we have built one application where if you really wanted a French person to write a German formal email, absolutely it is difficult. When we are drafting these emails and all this stuff, we always want a person to verify our content, see whether it's informal. In Google Translate, it translates, but it never translates into formal or informal. Nowadays, having these AI features, obviously we could do that. So we have used this kind of a feature where we have integrated the open AI interface. We have built one open AI interface. So what my developer does is he just take that interface. He will put what content he wanted to, how many lines he wanted to, in which language, what he needs to be. He just have to fill all this information. Once he fills all this information, once he submits it, my content, in whichever language it needs to be, it turns into that language. Let's say, for example, you're sending a happy birthday email for a person who's in Spain. You type all those email. Once you click a button, immediately this API hits a email content. It already the content is filled over there. The journey fires with a proper content. So there is a template, which a responsive template, which has a proper skeleton where it can accommodate 3 to 4 lines of happy birthday email. So if you wanted to do it in Spanish, immediately you put a text, you submit it, immediately you get an email in Spanish or French or in Italian, on whichever language, especially in Europe where you have a different languages. You can use the AI capability. It's very easy. Just you can, it's all about having one API call. That's it. Nobody, I mean, like people says that Marketing Cloud doesn't support AI. For that, we need to have a different kind of a tool. Of course, it's not. You just have to use certain AI features. It has a wide range of REST API capabilities where you can just use it. Of course, any AI provides open documents where a lot of AI capabilities. If you could utilize it, these things are easily it is possible, I would say. Yeah, so this is what I would like to say. We need to think twice or thrice before we buy any other product, like maybe let's say whatever products what we are buying, like data cloud or something. Like buying a data cloud will not change our business, right? So what our business thinks is, hey, data cloud has really a great kind of capacity or capabilities, let's buy it and let's give it to someone who's sitting in our company. So it's our responsibility always to educate our business, saying them that what are the capabilities of data cloud, do we really need to have that, or maybe can we do certain kind of mechanisms inside, like can our SQL queries, which is there in the automation studio, can overcome the necessity of data cloud, or maybe Salesforce CRM also has a lot of Apex and DML operations. Can we use those before, like if all such things are being fulfilled, or maybe if all those things cannot be satisfied, then only we should think whether we have to go with data cloud or maybe other clouds, or maybe really agent force. Like I told you, like why do we need to have some agent force when Marketing Cloud itself can buy a data or can fetch a data from any chat GPT kind of a thing. Yeah, so until unless our entire when we use our tool properly with all the capabilities, once these doesn't get satisfied, then only I would like to ask my company or someone to buy a different tool if it is necessary. Yeah, Lakshmi, can you please comment? Yeah, this is what I would like to say. Like, if you're not only our being a Marketing Cloud experts, our job is not to load the data, run the campaign, and go home. Sometimes it's always important to train our business people also, and also train our experts. Maybe a CEO of a company is reachable, because Salesforce is working really hard on every release. Like I have the day when I entered into Salesforce ecosystem, I have seen every 3 to 4 months there are releases. They are continuously working in the backend. They are always showing a lot of things. Like when I started Salesforce Marketing Cloud in 2016, now if I see in 2025, there are a lot of changes, like maybe the recycle bins, or maybe the APIs, or maybe a different content blocks, custom content blocks. A lot of things are coming up. Salesforce is really working hard, and they are really doing a lot of sessions to show what and all the changes which are coming up. So when they are doing so much hard work and doing certain things, it is our responsibility sitting in our company. We also, it's important to show our capabilities. So that's what I said, like people not only learn the technology from YouTube or some from trainers, also learn from experts, learn from Salesforce people who are continuously working on giving in sessions, demos, and spending a lot of money on these things. So if you could really learn what and all new features which are coming up, take that information, conduct workshops in your company, let educate yourself to them, so that they come up with a lot of ideas. They know how to, we need to educate them in such a way that what our tools could do, so that or maybe our platforms can do, and what we could do more, so that they can bring more requirements and we could do better out of it. Yeah, I think yeah, we talked a lot. I would say, of course, if opportunity is given in terms of technology, maybe in depth of technology, we can speak a lot. I can share a lot of experiences, like how things work. But I would really like to say that Salesforce Marketing Cloud is alive, and it really have a lot of things to do out of it if you really utilize it in a proper way. I always a firm believer that we should not, even though if you have a very nice car and if you have a very good suspensions, very good horsepower, very good features, expensive brand value car, until unless if you don't have a proper driver who's driving it, you cannot win the race. So this is the firm, I'm the firm believer of that.
Are you
Yeah.
done, Bhanu?
Yes, Lakshmi.
I think that's very informative and detailed session. I have my questions noted. If anybody else has any questions, please unmute and then so that I can ask later. I will stop sharing the screen. Yeah.
I'll just say it was good session. I think a lot of that stuff was like intermediary and advanced, because there's a lot of little tidbits there that you wouldn't know unless you were using it daily. You wouldn't have the reference point. But yeah, I learned a few things from that as well. So thank you. Um, thanks for that. I found it quite good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, and nice to meet you.
You too.
Vishnu, can you unmute yourself or Vishnu has a question, Bhanu, which is do you want to speak, Vishnu? Okay, let me read this out. He has a question saying, will MCE and MCAE will completely migrate to MC core in brackets growth or advanced?
Um, No, see, marketing cloud engagement, this is already on a platform which is built on exact target. And the marketing cloud advanced and growth is already on core. So they are exchanging information between that. And also data cloud is also on the core. So they are exchanging information there. And there's always a myth saying them that, I learned AMP script working so hard. I learned SSJ so hard. Like, will it get replaced? See, AMP script, SSJs and all are exact target specific languages, which it remains. And what Advanced is currently doing is they are just advanced themselves going into Einstein Agent Force and having a data cloud, which is, and it's advanced version of Paradot to growth to advanced. So it is coming in that path. When it really, if there is a day where it really dominates the entire game, so at that time, there would be a really a easy way of doing things rather than we stressing our things on SSAs or something, but it will take some time. I don't think it will replace those things. It has a different path, and based on the market requirement, it has a different path. But it's always marketing cloud, which is on exact target, will not be replaced. It's not so easy.
Will not be replaced, but there is a chance of slow transition from exact.
Slow transition. Yes, yes. But it will be merged, but it will not be replaced, I would say. I don't think completely, there is no way where we can completely forget about AMP or forget about SSJS or something like that. There
Yeah,
would
we
be a
will slowly
transition.
forget.
Yeah, there would be just a merging, I would say.
Yeah. Anyone else? Adam, you were saying something I did not know you could GitHub.
Yes, I might just summarize a couple of the points I made in chat so you don't have to read through them all. But yeah,
Yeah.
the data retention was a really good one. I've seen like no, you're right, no one ever uses it. Like 1% of the teams will be using it. And I think the only time I saw that start to change is when Salesforce started charging for storage, and then all the executives started getting worried about their costs. And then we started implementing data retention. But it's not just a cost thing; it is a best practice. It should have been done even before the costs
Yeah,
were in place. Yep.
yeah, having hundreds of data extensions which is unused and having hundreds of data. Of course, if your company is following GDPR rules, especially in Europe, where after 30 days your data have to be
Mhm.
deleted, if you put some customer in the data extensions who are supposed to be deleted,
Yep.
it's altogether, it's we are against compliance, I would say. So always put a retention where unnecessary data have to be taken away.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of little best practice things that just get swept under the rug for the name of either you don't know or just to get the job out. And another, thanks for letting us know about um, the GitHub connections. I've used a similar process, as I'm sure many people have, with content blocks in order to bypass when you're
Yeah,
testing. You make a change, make a change, make a change.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want to wait every time. So yes, so I'll just highlighting that. Yeah, great to. So there's probably a lot of use cases where GitHub is more suited than local hosting, just beyond quick testing changes as well. So that's good to know.
Yeah, Adam. And most importantly, all this web development activities we give it for third-party people. So many companies are hesitant to give access of our company's marketing cloud for third-party people. So instead, you can give access to Git. You can just give a URL. You don't have to give access to marketing cloud at all. They can just refresh it, and even if they wanted to pass parameters, Git has supports that. You can pass a multiple number of parameters also. You can try it. It's very simple, but it's very useful.
100%. Thank you. I'll hand over to some hands raised.
Yeah, it's Oana. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Bhanu, for coming and presenting for us. It's clear that you have a lot of technical expertise, which is great. Thank you for sharing. You mentioned that you moved across from core CRM in terms of expertise. You started with Salesforce Core and then you moved to Marketing Cloud. So for anyone else that's looking to do the same jump, I would just like to ask you, how did you find the transition? What kind of skills you brought across that were useful, and what are the new skills you had to learn when you started working with Marketing Cloud?
So see, the core CRM is completely a different business strategy, and marketing cloud is altogether a different strategy, Juana. So whenever I train people, I always say to them that, before you step into marketing cloud, imagine that you own a company, you built a product, and you really wanted to sell it in a market, and you have a marketing tool. So how your mind thinks out of it. So when your mind thinks like where you wanted to sell it, to whom you need to sell it, in what channel you need to sell it, if you sell it, whether the customer receives it or not, what if he doesn't receive, how to retain the customer, how to engage the customer. So if your mindset come into your picture in that way, then you try to search all these things in marketing cloud. Like how do you wanted to send it, whether you wanted to send an immediate email or you wanted to send an email after some time. What if a person doesn't open your email, right? If you send a message to your friend, you always expect a response from him. What if that person doesn't respond to you? How your mind works. So train your mind in such a way, then you use the tool. It's so easy. Not only marketing cloud, you can use any other platform, marketing cloud engagement or growth, or it could be any other technology. So it's all about mindset. Once you use that mindset, Salesforce marketing cloud is very easy if you really wanted to use it. Like as I said, it's all about data, it's all about the content, it's all about analytics. Simple. Divide it and you learn it. It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy when you have a lot of experience.
Yes,
Might not be that
mindset, I would say.
easy for for other
Yeah.
people. But yeah, that's a great answer. I think putting ourselves in the shoes of the clients and the
Yeah.
business that we work with is really important as a skill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gather that you have a curious mind. You like to go out there and find solutions to the problems you're facing, and yeah, that's another great skill that I think is really useful in our industry.
Yes, necessity is a mother of invention.
Well done.
Okay.
Hello, thank you for that presentation. That was quite amazing. I really like your analogy about the driver. I use that quite often myself about, you've got a great car, you need to skill up as a driver. I have a non-technical question, which is related to your background. So you're currently in Germany, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you weren't always there. So what were some of the things that you found challenging moving from your home country to a different country?
So I moved it long back. Look, I was working in service-based company like Entity Data and Deloitte. So every day my job is whatever the requirement comes in, I used to do it. So at that time, the world was not so much matured. I mean, like no so much of transition happened to me. So every day I sit there, my business person comes to me and tell to me that, I mean, my architect tell to me that, hey, Bhanu, this button should come up and this name should come down and this attachment should go up. So this is the requirement what I get it on my user story. I build it, I test it, and my job is done. My life was happy, and I would say the things. This is what when I was doing when I was there. When I was doing it, someone called from Germany and told me that, hey, Bhanu, the way. I mean, nobody questions me like why this button have to be here. So I was the person who asked like why the button have to be here. If you put the button here, this is the problem. If you put the button there, this is the advantage. When I told to me, then the person called me and said that, hey, Bhanu, you come to Germany, sit here. So, my recruitment happened in such a way. Then when I came here, then I got an opportunity to sit with the business, understand what business needs. So, because nowadays people are very sharp, people have a lot of knowledge and a lot of exposure. But at that time in 2016, it was very less. So when I sat with the business, so then I understood what business needs. So I thought I started thinking like a CEO of the company. If I'm a CEO of a company, what technology should I use? How should I use? In what smarter way should I use? Should I restrict myself into core cloud, or should I learn something else? If I learn something else, how will I be useful to the company? So all these things came into my mind, and that's why the transition happened. And I stick to Germany, and I work more with the business and more with the technology. And now I do all round performance, including developer. I do trainings, so I do everything here, not only in terms of Salesforce Marketing Cloud. I do growth, I do data cloud, and I do also have a different other technologies which I learned. So these are things that you can ask me anything in terms of any kind of technology, and I'd be able
I will reach out, Bhanu.
to.
Amazing.
Sure,
Thank you.
Lakshmi.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Vishnu has one question. He's trying to unmute. He asked for 5 minutes, but I'm happy to be on the call, Kian Owana, because it's already 6:30. I'm just letting you know. I have two questions, Bhanu. One, when you say we can just use the data extensions to look up or use as a reference to replace the content, right? When there is an update, you don't need to touch the email or template. You just need to, then how will you make sure that the previous version or previous versions related content is still existing? It's not an overwrite, right? Then we need to have multiple DEs, if that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, like the versions of the content, right? See, the content of the email are not super important. Like the content in the cloud page, always the code you need to make a version control, not to the content, because content is already in email. Last time we had this content. Last time we sent a Christmas content in the email, but now we are sending a New Year content. So there is a transition. People don't really want to bother about having content as a backup.
Okay, like you are saying you can use the previous sent emails URL
Yeah.
as a place.
URLs, if it is, yes, if it is a URL. I mean, like I don't prioritize content. The code is necessary. The content is not so much important for
Hmm.
for a month.
And my second question is, when you say monitoring tools, right? Is it
Mm-hmm.
just a sequence of SQL activities to make sure we are running the activities or something has been paused to send the notifications?
It's very simple. It's SSJS and a data extension. So
Okay.
yeah, it's SSJS activity which compares two data extensions, and it sends a triggered email. It's a pretty straightforward.
But that monitoring tool is nothing but a set of activities in automation,
Yes, one SQL query, two data
right?
extensions, and one SSJS, and one email activity. That's it.
Yes.
You store
Yeah.
the data, you compare it, and you send an email.
Yeah. Got that. I think those are my two questions which I have written. Vishnu, are you still? Can you unmute, or do you
Yes,
want me
yes.
to read?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
I'm forcing him to talk.
No,
Nice.
actually, I joined from my office, so I couldn't able to speak on that
That's
time. It's fine.
understandable, but I just want to unmute and so that you can. Yeah, please.
Yeah, my question is, Banu, like, can we make use of data cloud now instead of data extensions?
Not in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. In Salesforce Marketing Cloud, it's altogether different. You can use Data Cloud in a different way. Let's say, for example, if you really wanted to send an email to the person, so you can see that how that email was behaving in different other systems. Let's say if you're an Amazon customer, or maybe if you're a customer for Adidas, so that particular person, you can see the view of that person in different systems. Like Adidas shoes have been sold in Amazon, or maybe Temu, or maybe Alibaba, or maybe online store, or maybe in a different store. So data cloud is something where you're going to see that particular customer in a different areas, and also you can connect marketing cloud engagement data, and you can see that how that customer was behaving in terms of those things, and you can create insights like how much revenue that person created in each and every store. So if you have that kinds of mindset, you can use data cloud. But data extension is just storing the data. It's a table in a SQL database, or maybe a catalog, or a place where you store the data. So data extension is altogether different. But in terms of marketing cloud growth or advanced, there we use segments. So for that segments, data cloud is the source. because Marketing Cloud Growth is or advanced, so they wanted to send or they wanted to engage customer in a smarter way or a better way. So for that, we create a proper insights and we pick a right customer. So there a lot of smartness is involved. But here, when I have to take an example of dealing with 10 million customers, there is no point of putting 10 million customers in data cloud. Rather use 10 million customers in a data extension, filter in which country you wanted to, filter in which date you wanted to, filter in which time you, I mean, like which currency you wanted to. So you can segment it and you can do it. So, data cloud is altogether different, data extension is altogether different.
Okay, got it. I asked this because like I'm currently working on a growth project. So
Yeah,
that's what the question is like. I'm
yeah,
currently working on data cloud. So
yeah.
I just asked like whether we can manage the same thing in data like growth.
Growth, yes. In growth, it's altogether it's a data cloud strategy. You have to take a segment. So growth always use data cloud as a source of information, source of segments. So there you have to use that.
Okay.
But in Marketing Cloud, it's different.
Yeah.
Will
Before
be
my next question, sorry.
okay. Go.
One last question, Lakshmi. So I'm currently working on Marketing Cloud growth. So I had chance for the last 2 months. I don't have Marketing Cloud experience before. So my question is like, do we need web development for like Marketing Cloud? And if yes, like how much do we require for that?
You mean Salesforce Marketing Cloud, the engagement
Uh,
or
no,
Growth.
growth?
He's asking growth.
Growth.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so I would really say that you don't need too much of development knowledge, but it's good to have because it's you can use Lightning, Aura, and different kind of things over there, and also you can utilize Experience Cloud if necessary. So if that's the case, then a little bit of web development knowledge is fine. But in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, you don't need to because you have all the drag and drop features, and mostly you can have to depend on SSJS and AMP script, which is fine. But in growth or maybe advanced, you can spread your wings. You can use Aura, you can use Lightning, and also you can use SSJ. I mean, sorry, JavaScript, and you can use any advanced kind. But you it's better if you really have a very great web knowledge in terms of growth or advanced.
thank you, Banu.
Yeah. Is it okay if I add something to that, Vishnu?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Marketing Cloud Growth, right? You need to do the automations with the configurations called Salesforce flows. If you have CRM experience, it's good to widen your knowledge on flow configuration rather web development, because people already have web development will do that, and people who already have Apex, they will do the coding. Just don't stress yourself to learn something which is not right now mandatory for you.
And Vishnu, one more
Got it.
thing, I would also like to put your roadmap in such a way that you learn the sales process, which is very wide. Like understand like how lead is converted into account contact and opportunity, and how it is attached to campaign and all this stuff. So that would really help you how things works. You rather sticking to the web technology flows, also understand the business flow how it works, so that it really helps in terms of yourself growing in the terms of technology.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I have 3 years of experience right now. So I worked as a QA in sales, service, and other CPQ clouds. So now I got a chance to work with Marketing Cloud Growth. That's why, like, I just
Good.
wanted to have a good knowledge on Marketing Cloud too.
Yeah.
So it would be helpful if you guide us. I would definitely follow you both. And thanks for the good session.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
Lakshmi.
just take one step at a time, Vishnu.
Have a
Yeah,
That's
mindset
yeah.
all.
of owning a company. Have a mindset of owning a company, like I just
Yes.
answered. So
No, you will be the
automatic.
CEO, Bhanu.
Yeah, yeah.
We will be employees. That's okay. And we just have one question from Saurabh. Vishnu, are you done with your questions?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
thanks.
I might drop off, guys. I've got to get back home. But thanks, Bhanu, great session, and thanks, Lakshmi, for hosting as well.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Josephine, thanks. Yeah. Saurabh, one more question from you. No, he's not here. No, he's here. He has a question, Bhanu. Just a few more minutes, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, how is Braze different from SFMC? Interesting question.
Yes, yes. So I know Braze is off topic because it's Salesforce, but if you really wanted to say, Braze is also a powerful tool, but in terms of data, Braze, you need a additional platform to bring in the data. But as I said, when you have to deal with an area where we have to deal with 10 million customers or something, but all these 10 million customers need to have 10 million profiles. So Braze is something where it works like a personalization interaction studio, if you heard of. So it works little bit of interaction studio and all this stuff. Um, but again, like Braze has its own advantages and disadvantages. It's altogether a different, but Salesforce Marketing Cloud is altogether different kind of a thing. It all depends on how your business works on. So yeah.
The purpose of this call is Marketing Cloud is not going to die, and it is very powerful.
Yes, yes.
So let's not encourage. I'm not saying let's not encourage, but still, yeah, that's
Yeah,
the reason.
I mean, like what business needs. If business needs that kind of technology, yes, of course, we could. It all depends, advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah. Any more questions from anyone else? I think Yashashwini, sorry.
So
If nobody, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's good to have Marketing Cloud future. Like what I'm saying is, like, if I want to start my career something on that, like I can choose Marketing Cloud, right? Just for
I
the
would say,
confidence.
I would say marketing. I would say marketing. So you never know, whatever might come. Like as I said, like a Salesforce Marketing Cloud or maybe advanced growth. If you know how to market, if you know like how the data, how the campaigns, how analytics. So if you keep that in mindset, how to engage a lead, how to engage, so how to do the campaign management, all other things are necessary. Journey builder, you can learn it in 3 to 4 hours. Automation, you can learn it in 3 to 4 hours. So everything you can learn, but if you have that mindset, any if whatever comes in, you can.
Thank you, Bhanu.
Just one thing, Vishnu. I'm sorry if don't feel like I'm interfering. I will edit this one, okay? But the thing is, because now you are onto Marketing Cloud Growth and you already have Sales Service Cloud, just make sure you focus on how to do the things optimally in Marketing Cloud Growth. Don't worry about the Marketing Cloud because those two platforms are different and you can work independently without Marketing Cloud. Exact targets SFMC experience on MCGL, if that makes sense. Don't stress too much.
Got it, Lakshmi. Thank you so
Mm.
much.
I think you got the best opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, if no one has any other question, I think we can wrap up. Thank you so much, Bhanu. That's very informative. And, yeah, I could say I will reach out to you.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we
Take care. And
can we get
sorry.
these recordings, Lakshmi?
Who is that?
I'm Vishnu.
Okay. So you're joining the session for the first time?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will not send you.
I don't know, like I don't know the platform, like where I get this meetings or
No, no.
that.
There is a YouTube channel, Vishnu, and we will be most probably I will be editing and posting it on the YouTube channel, and I will share the same link on LinkedIn. You can go and watch it
Mhm.
anytime.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Just an advice to you, Vishnu. You have a lot of enthusiasm. You do have a lot of vision. So keep working hard. Keep yourself consistent, and have that energy. Definitely, everything will happen for you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Bhanu.
but just don't try to drive two different cars with same single steering, right?
Yeah, I'll only focus on Marketing Cloud Growth and Advance.
Right.
And
Don't worry
until
about MC.
until you win, until you win. Once you win, you take a one more car, like
Yeah,
Lakshmi said.
that's different. That's a different story, though. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining and making this session more fruitful because we had a lot of questions and curiousness. That's what I was telling Bhanu. When you are ready with some other content, I'm happy to have you again on
Sure.
on behalf of our group. I'm saying it's not just as an individual, but on the group end, we are happy to have you again when you have something like use case or
We
everybody knows
will.
that you are an expert now. So
We will have something on growth or advanced soon, Lakshmi, with a proper
yeah.
business cases and all.
Don't just say because I'm going to post this and I'm going to say the same thing on the description of YouTube.
Sure, 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 sure.
And people will definitely come back to you. When is the session?
Sure,
I
sure.
have one question. Did anyone has any other question? No. Right. Thank you so much. I'm going to close the session. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Bye. Who is that?
Bye.
Dana. Okay, I will
Done.
talk to you.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, thanks for saying bye. Bye. Yeah.